Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you love uncovering the secrets of ancient Egypt and want to join us on this amazing adventure, be sure to follow our channel. Seriously, your support means the world to us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. We've got plenty more fascinating videos coming your way. What one man found in Egypt shocked the entire world. Unsolved mysteries, you know? For nearly 3,000 years, ancient Egypt was the greatest civilization in the Mediterranean. Most of what we know today comes from the countless artifacts and monuments discovered in modern Egypt. Every artifact gives archaeologists deeper insights into this ancient culture, but at the same time it also raises more questions and leaves us with mysteries that still haven't been solved. The prosperity and uniqueness of ancient Egypt have amazed historians and archaeologists for centuries. So much so that they even came up with a special name for experts in this field, Egyptologists. Join us today as we dive into the secrets of ancient Egypt. But first, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated with all our latest content. First, the Kufu Ship. Every excavation holds a mystery. You never really know what you're going to find. Who could have imagined that archaeologists would uncover a massive, almost perfectly preserved ship in near pristine condition during digs near the Great Pyramids of Giza back in 1954? The discovery of Khufu's ship is considered one of the greatest achievements in the history of Egyptian archaeology. A total of 1,200 pieces were recovered and meticulously reassembled. Once restored, the ship turned out to be a stunning masterpiece, about 143 feet long and 20 feet wide. What's even more impressive is that the ship was rebuilt without using a single nail. According to experts, the ancient design and craftsmanship were so flawless that the ship could still sail the Nile River even today. This ship has stood the test of time for over 4,600 years, although we're still not entirely sure what its original purpose was. Some Egyptologists and archaeologists have suggested theories based on the available evidence. Most experts strongly believe Khufu's ship was a solar bark. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the sun god Ra used ships like this to carry him through the sky. Pharaohs also used these solar ships as sacred symbols of Ra on Earth. However, these vessels weren't built for land or sea travel, but were specifically designed to carry kings into the afterlife. Even though Khufu's ship shows signs that it was actually used on water, many experts believe it was most likely used to transport Khufu's body from Memphis to Giza, much like a holy pilgrimage ship. One of the most fascinating theories about the ship's purpose is that it might hold the key to solving the mystery of how the pyramids were built. The ship's asymmetrical design allowed it to lift massive stone blocks, a unique feature that might explain a lot. What do you think Khufu's ship was really built for? Second, the Silver Pharaoh. Susen's I was the third pharaoh of Egypt's 21st dynasty. To this day, we still don't know for sure exactly how long he ruled Egypt, but what he left behind after his death could be the missing piece to one of history's biggest puzzles. According to some Egyptologists, the discovery of the royal tomb of Susen I was even more astonishing than the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. His tomb was excavated in 1940, but it was located in Tanis, in Lower Egypt, where the humid climate had badly damaged most of the wooden artifacts. Still, Susen's tomb remains one of the most intact ever found. It showed no signs of being looted, whereas Tutankhamun's tomb was robbed twice. Among the most stunning artifacts was the king's mask made of gold and rare dark blue lapis lazuli, but the pharaoh himself was buried in a silver coffin. Most people assume that gold was always more valuable than silver, but in ancient Egypt, silver was extremely rare. It was far harder to acquire than gold. In fact, temple inscriptions show that silver was considered even more valuable than gold during much of Egypt's history, especially during its periods of decline. No other silver sarcophagus has ever been found besides the one belonging to Susen I. Although archaeologists have learned a lot about this pharaoh's afterlife beliefs, there's still not much known about his reign. Recent research suggests that Susen I was a shrewd politician who ruled Egypt during one of its most mysterious times, the Third Intermediate Period. Back then, Egypt was divided between two rival powers, the high priests in the south and the pharaohs who had been pushed north to Tanis. While we can't confirm the exact length of his reign, estimates suggest that Susenus ruled Tanis for over 40 years, whereas Tutankhamun only ruled for 10 years. That's why Susenus is remembered as a significant leader who clearly managed to amass great wealth. So, when you hear about ancient Egypt, you probably already know how much this civilization adored cats. The ancient Egyptians believed cats were mysterious creatures that could bring good luck to those who cared for and fed them. As a result, cats became the most precious pets of all, treated with great attention and honestly even spoiled with special foods. Even kings gave their cats special treatment, and when a cat died, it was mummified just like a human. Some cats were even buried in their owners' tombs. This is supported by countless statues and wall paintings found in ancient Egyptian tombs where cats appear as symbols of the goddess Bastet. But, it wasn't just cats the Egyptians worshipped. Archaeologists have uncovered remains of all kinds of rare and exotic animals from ancient Egypt. It seems that Egyptians didn't just keep cats. They also had some pretty bizarre pets. Much like today, owning rare or unusual animals was a symbol of wealth and power. During excavations at a tomb near the Nile River, archaeologists were stunned to find fossilized remains of baboons, hippos and even crocodiles. Just imagine how dangerous and challenging it must have been to keep such animals. Sure, monkeys might have been manageable, but raising predators like crocodiles, that's a whole different level. According to archaeologists, it's likely that most of these animals were sacrificed after their owners died as offerings. Fourth, the mysterious black liquid. Many recently discovered mummies have been found covered in a strange black substance. All the mummies from Egypt's 19th and 22nd dynasties seem to have undergone this unusual treatment. Among them was a priest dedicated to the sun god Ra, who was wrapped in fine linen and completely covered in a thick layer of this black material. Scientists began to wonder what this mysterious liquid was. Analyzing it took a lot of effort. Studying a substance that survived thousands of years isn't exactly easy. Hundreds of samples were collected for lab testing. Results showed that most of the substance consisted of plant oils, animal fats and tree resins. However, this isn't a complete list, as some ingredients may have decayed over time. This black liquid was also found on some statues in Tutankhamun's tomb. The true purpose of this black substance is still unclear. One theory suggests it was used to deter grave robbers, since only elite mummies were covered in it. Another theory is that it was simply a way to preserve the dead and their possessions for the afterlife. Either way, it remains a mystery. Fifth, the mud-covered mummy. Mummification for Egypt's pharaohs and nobility was a complex and expensive process requiring valuable resources to ensure a smooth journey to the afterlife. Among the many mummies discovered, archaeologists and Egyptologists have carefully studied and documented the different mummification methods used over time. That's why they were genuinely surprised when they came across a mummy covered in mud. Instead of being placed in a coffin as usual, this mummy was coated in a layer of mud, a burial practice never recorded before in ancient Egypt. Why mud instead of resin? One theory suggests the mud was used to protect the body after it had already started to deteriorate. Interestingly, the mud layer didn't match the mummy's estimated age. The mummy was dated to around 1207 BC and showed signs of damage after death. Meanwhile, the coffin belonged to a woman who died much later. This suggests the body may have been swapped due to an ancient tomb robbery, but the real reason remains a mystery. Sixth, ancient cheese. Would you dare to eat a snack that's over 3,200 years old? Well, this is exactly what we're talking about. Ancient cheese. At first, archaeologists were completely puzzled when they found a large solid lump inside a jar in the tomb of Tahames, a high-ranking official in ancient Egypt. When scientists analyzed the contents of this lump, they realized they had just found the oldest cheese in the world. Although it wasn't officially labeled cheese, The discovery was significant because it's the first real evidence that ancient Egyptians knew how to make it. Further analysis showed the cheese was made from sheep and goat milk. That means it was probably very sour. However, due to the passage of time, scientists also found traces of bacteria that cause brucellosis, a serious disease that can be transmitted from animals to humans through unpasteurized dairy products. If that's true, then scientists didn't just discover the world's oldest cheese. They also found the oldest molecular evidence of a deadly disease. 7th. Mummies with gold tongues. Archaeologists uncovered 2,000-year-old mummies with golden tongues placed inside their mouths in northern Egypt. Although the mummies themselves were poorly preserved, they were each given a gold amulet shaped like a tongue. For a long time, archaeologists weren't sure why these mummies, despite lacking other valuable burial items, were given such an important amulet. One theory suggests that these golden tongues were meant to help the dead speak before the court of Osiris, the god of resurrection and the afterlife. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Osiris was first a fertility god, but later became the ruler of the underworld and the judge of souls. What do you think of these strange discoveries?